All right, everybody. I wanted to make this video to simply go over a few things with regards to my build, my construction, of course, the two sound rooms that I am in the process of getting to a completed state, and some of the emails that I have been receiving. Now, I'm not going to be putting those emails front and center. I just want to first and foremost thank those of you that are emailing me to tell me how incorrect I am about my electrical, how incorrect I am about my approach when it comes to all of the electricity, the direction in which I'm running the wires, the conduit that I decided to buy, the gauge of the wire that I bought, the type of outlets that I bought. And pretty soon I'm sure I'm going to get a lot more emails about what I'm doing wrong with the trench that we're going to build underground to bring power from the street all the way to the sound rooms, and the $800 panels that I bought as well. I'm sure that I'm going to get a lot of criticism and feedback as to why I bought the wrong things, and that I'm doing a disservice to all of you that are trying to build sound rooms. First, I want to say this. There are many opinions from all of you out there watching me as far as how a sound room is constructed. Many of you have different points of views. As a matter of fact, I would love for all of you to just have a phone call with me, a video call, and you all argue amongst yourselves. You all criticize each other's point of view as to how to build the proper room, the proper electrical. That would be fun. I think my audience would love to see that. So that's number one, point number one. Point number two is the fact that many of you are giving a lot of advice as far as specifically the electricity, but fail to comprehend that what we're doing here is an audiophile electrical type of work, which never meets code specifications. Yes, it doesn't, it won't. The way audiophiles do things are unfortunately things that don't make sense. A power chord should not change the way music sounds, but guess what? It does change the way music sounds. From an engineering perspective, electrical engineer's perspective, that is, it doesn't make any sense. We're crazy. It's the placebo effect. You all can beat it up in the comment section and discuss if power chords make or do not make a difference, or cables in general, for that matter. But anyway, a lot of the opinion that I'm getting, again, I want to thank all of you who are messaging me, who are sending me messages, even all the way from like the UK, okay, Canada, Israel, you name it. I'm getting Norway actually as well. So I'm getting all kinds of opinions. And remember, I can't follow everybody's advice. The message you may have sent me 2 days as far as how to properly do what I'm doing may be completely different than the person prior to your email from what they recommended I do. And so if I'm going to chase everybody's opinion, guess what? I won't have a room completed ever. It won't happen. And so I gotta stay the course with what I'm doing and the person that is leading my electrical work. I got to believe in what he's telling me, and I wanna stay the course so that if for whatever reason it doesn't work out or it sounds like straight S-H-I-T, then I know who to blame. Then I know who to go after, right? But the last thing I want to do is to follow your advice and then tell him that I ended up doing something different than what he advised me, because he's going to put the blame on the fact that I followed someone else's advice and not his. So you got to understand where I'm coming from, all right? Now, as far as like the build and how things are happening right now, I got to say that I'm pretty blessed to be in this beautiful space with a pool behind me, two sound rooms that are going to be hopefully completed in the next 6 to 7 weeks. That's what my contractor told me. And I think I found a contractor that understands that things need to be done the way I want him to do them. Usually contractors have a problem adjusting their mindset to what the customer wants because they have a way of doing things, right? So if it doesn't meet code, it's a problem. If it doesn't go the way they are used to doing things, it's a problem. So I had to kind of tell him, listen, this is an audiophile grade type of project. It's not going to make a lot of sense for you. The 8-gauge wire in the wall is not going to make any sense for you either. It's going to be like overkill in your opinion. I understand that. but we are building something special here, and I need to really bring the best out of my sound rooms, even if it means spending the six figures that it's costing me to build these rooms. Which, by the way, after watching all these Amazon layoffs, 20,000 people getting text messages in the middle of the night, basically being told that your employment has been terminated, send us your laptop so you can get your severance check, right? I see that every day. I see Target firing 10,000 people. I see, other industries laying off a lot of employees. And here I am spending six figures in two listening rooms. I'm not gonna lie, it's nerve-wracking. I could easily be using that money to buy a property here in Texas, an apartment, a one bedroom, one bathroom apartment, and renting it out and make that an investment. So that just shows you how crazy we are as audiophiles. And to some, the stupidity that we embark on. But it is what it is. I can't go back anymore. I'm already 35% of the project, completed so far. And so I'm not going to backtrack my footsteps and say, never mind, let's not continue. I'm hoping that this six-figure investment is going to pay off over the next 20 years. Hopefully, I can actually get it back tenfold and actually make it worth my money. Because at the end of the day, it is an investment for my business, right? I'm not doing this just for my own fun, but I'm doing it also because I have a business to run, and you guys are very aware of that. I've never lied about that, okay? Speaking of business, if you haven't seen my website for ultra high-end used gear, make sure you go to my website, jaysaudiolab.com, and see brand new listings, including a JMF amplifier and preamplifier combo that is actually one of the better performing manufacturers out there, all the way from France to be specific. So if you're looking to improve the performance of your system, make sure you check out my website, jaysaudiolab.com. Anyway, so, the goal, as I was saying, is to build something special, have people come out, and not necessarily be inside the rooms all the time. I want to be able to have space outside. I want to be able to have tables like the one that I'm sitting on, different sections, different areas to hang out, to drink some whiskey, bourbon, smoke a little weed if you like that, and be non-judgmental. The point is that we have fun in and outside the rooms, that we can actually socialize, that we can actually get to know each other, that we can go in, listen for 30, 40, 50 minutes, come back out, and we have this big space outside to just, socialize and talk amongst ourselves and give, an opinion about what you're thinking inside the room. How is the system, my system's sounding? So it's something that I feel many dealers unfortunately can't do because they're typically either in a commercial space, and secondly, they don't have perhaps the size of the property that I have right now. And so I want to have the upper hand when it comes to not only the rooms, the sound rooms to be specific, but the experience. The experience to me goes hand in hand with the two sound rooms. Tomorrow I am going to have 10 workers come in and begin to install the LED lights that you're seeing on your screen right now. Those are going to be all around the two sound rooms on the outside of the structure to give a nice feeling at night around the listening rooms. And we're going to start digging from this light pole that you're seeing right now all the way across under the driveway and follow all the driveway up until you see this wooden fence, go right under that, and then connect to the sub panels that you're seeing right now. It's gonna be a full house tomorrow here. It is not cost efficient what I'm doing, folks. I will be lying if I'm telling you, I'd be lying to your face if I told you that what I'm doing is cost efficient. It's not. It's not. What I'm doing, it can really make you think if it's even a smart decision to make because of the money involved to build the two rooms. So, but as I said earlier, I can't go back. Can't go back. I got to push forward. But ultimately, the idea is to have many of you, when doors open, hopefully next year, probably end of January, for you guys to see something special, for you guys to actually be impressed, not only with the room build, the quality of the systems, but the overall experience for me is just as important That's what I'm building. Last but not least, remember that this dream started all from a garage back in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. A small room that really left me wanting more. In a room in which I conducted a lot of listening sessions in the past 7 to 8 years. That room is what actually allowed me to save my money, to work 2 jobs, in some cases 3 jobs, to be able to afford the home that I'm in today. In this project, which will hopefully be finished by the end of this year. If you have any questions for me, please post them below. Give me your thoughts about this investment, 6-figure investment. Am I being stupid by building these 2 sound rooms and seeing all the madness that's going around the globe, especially in the US when all these layoffs are happening? Should I stop right now or just continue to carry on? I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.